Happy 2021, Kara. We made it.
Here we are in the new year. Yeah, Mark, you're back for the first time in 2021. David's doing some weather duties. He's going to join us in just a couple of minutes.
He's going to build up the suspense for this first morning forecast for the first full week of 2021. But I mean, obviously we did the 5 to 7 broadcast this morning. We chatted a little bit, but this is a little more informal setting where we can talk about your holidays, which went pretty good. And I understand that your little ones, unlike some big ones like me, actually made it to midnight on New Year's Eve.
They did. Yeah, I made it to 9:30.
About the same boat. So.
Yeah. My husband informed me that the little guys, 3 and 4 years old, were up until midnight. So their first time counting down with the big ball drop. So yeah, they talked about that a bunch over the weekend. I thought that was really cool. It's been years since I've been up for the ball drop.
Yeah.
So
I try to find time zones, off to the east, I go with Greenwich New Year or something like that, which kicks in 7 p.m. or so. That celebrate right
back
there.
On Friday morning, we were asking Sammy Stone from Happy 92.7, what time did you make it to last night? I think David said around 9. I was 9:30, and Sammy said 7:30. She beat us all in the lame people's club. So
I think I did make it past 7:30. I'm not going to challenge Sammy for that title, but probably not too much further after that. But so, yeah, I mean, I think so many folks were just happy to see the new year turn over. I mean, obviously we heard from our Erie News Now contributor, Dr. Becky Dawson, epidemiologist this morning. Hey, the virus doesn't know calendars. And I think we all get that. But I think just as a benchmark, as some sort of at least symbolic pushing forward to try and get through all of this, it feels good to kind of put 2020 out of our memory banks as much as we can. So
yeah, and today's really kind of the restart, I think, for a lot of people,
right?
Heading back to work in some cases, potentially picking up on that virtual learning for school, or maybe even heading back into the classroom for some folks. So yeah, today's kind of the restart. I know today's the big day for the diets. To start, it's Monday. A lot of folks like to do that on the Monday, and the gyms are opening back up. It's now 8:03, so those statewide restrictions that we saw put in place a couple of weeks ago, those are now officially lifted. So you would imagine some of the gyms going to be fairly packed as we head through this first Monday of the new year. And
I hope I posted it correctly. I was asking folks to chime in with their New Year's resolutions if they're making one. And the weight loss thing. The pandemic was tough enough. Right now, I was off through the holidays and eating all kinds of sugary food. Basically, that time I spent off. Do you remember the scene in The Office when they were starting the corporate weight loss challenge?
No.
The day before they started it, and they wanted to try and gain as much weight as possible to get a higher starting point. So they had like a cheese fountain, basically, and all that sort of. That's kind of how my entire holiday break went in terms of eating. So I'm I'm going to be making myself a New Year's weight loss resolution. Has to happen.
I had the baby back in May. It's been tough to shed the weight. So I'm on that, not only weight loss, but also getting back into the gym on a regular basis. I feel like it's my New Year's resolution each and every year. But maybe
we can work on that together, because I need some message time as well.
Let's do it.
We're gonna bring David into the mix here and say good morning to David. Also wanted to let's see. Deborah says she's got a few. Throwing out all the clutter, stuff saved for rainy days that never happened. I like that. Going to bed at a decent time to get up early. Need more light than dark. Well, Deborah, we hope that you do as best as possible with those New Year resolutions. David, you making any?
No, because I never stick to them. Like I try to tell myself that I'm gonna change, but it's New Year, same old me every year.
Yeah, but that's when you're
make a New Year's resolution. I like it.
Yes,
you're about 60 soaking wet, you can say those sorts of things. David,
What's that?
I don't know what you weigh. I'm saying when you weigh like 160 pounds soaking wet, it's easy to say those things. I'm not making.
Yeah, that's true. Although we're actually moving again. Just it's a long story, but. Decluttering has been, it wasn't a resolution, but I have definitely been decluttering.
Oh, good.
David and I are both moving houses next week. So
I heard Carol was doing it. I thought that was cool. So I decided to do it.
David said, I want to move too. So I'm off next week. But if David is seeming a little scatterbrained, he has a lot going on. But David, I'm with you. The decluttering process that you're able to do in the midst of a move is so satisfying.
Oh yeah.
I've been
about
thrown out.
6
The
to
kids
8
don't
months
even know
before that
how
clutter is just right back.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like once you get rid of that clutter, you don't ever want to buy a single thing ever again.
I know. And especially I think coming out of the holidays where there's so much excess, especially like seeing my kids get all this stuff when they don't need any more toys. It's like, oh man, we have to declutter around here. So I think that's a really good New Year's resolution, for a lot of people. It's a pretty popular one.
Yeah, so far that's been it. I guess I have been achieving a New Year's resolution. Thanks Deborah for making me think of that one.
Yeah, decluttering. David, it doesn't look like our New Year's resolution to get more snow, to move up in the Golden Snow Globe contest is going anywhere. It looks like a fairly quiet week ahead.
Yes, it is relatively quiet. I'll actually let me give you the latest stats since you asked. Snow globe. I'm just literally talking to myself.
Yeah, what are we? I think we're 27 inches so far this year.
Yes, we're right at 27 inches. Let me see if here we go. La da da. So you're gonna see me. You can't even see me scrolling through this. Okay, right now Anchorage, Alaska is at 36. They're number 1. We're number 9 right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're not too far off from 36 inches.
No, that's the thing. We can easily make that up. Buffalo's number 3. Ironically, isn't that where Buffalo's ranked in the NFL right now? They're at that same spot in the Snow Globe competition as well. So yeah, you know how lake effect events can go, like the one we got on Christmas. I mean, we really we got back in the mix of things really quick. We were upset. We were like, one of those big college teams like Ohio State or Alabama. It's like we lost an early season game and got knocked out of the rankings, and now we've upset not even upset some teams. We've beaten a lot of good teams, and now we're back in the top 10.
Yeah, we've got the race, that's for sure. Well, speaking of football, speaking of the playoffs, area football fans, they're in good moods this morning. All 3 of those local teams heading into the playoffs, the Browns, the Steelers, the Bills, alive in the postseason.
Yeah, no, how about the Ohio State Buckeyes? I know there's a lot of Penn State fans around here. They had a great showing back in that football playoff semifinal, taking on Alabama come Monday for their next Monday, is it? I think for the
week from today. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I mean, 1989, David, you tracked it down. Was the last time that the Browns, the Bills, and the Steelers all were in the postseason.
Yes, it was the 1980 season and the playoffs that went into 1990. But that was the last time I could find that each of the area teams made the playoffs. And it was 1994. It was the Steelers and the Browns, but the Bills didn't make it.
Right.
Okay. And of course, the Browns and the Steelers going to be going at it again in just 6 days. 1 week from that matchup Sunday night at 8:00. So it's a late one on Sunday. But yeah, that'll be interesting, I think, for local football fans. The rivalry.
A lot of eyes will be tuned to that one. Of course, the Steelers will have a lot of their key players back. And I'm sure they rested a lot of their players on Sunday. Browns and both teams, I think, had we're missing some players for various issues. And so, hoping to have everybody back at full strength for next week. And that one's going to be, I didn't make it to whatever time it was on New Year's Eve. That's the night I'll be up till midnight, even though I have to come in to work the next morning. So I think a lot of folks will be in that same boat.
And of course, we're getting into, playoff football. College football isn't in full action anymore. So we're starting to get those weekend games, both Saturday and Sunday in the NFL. So the Bills going to be facing off against the Colts Saturday at what time?
1 o'clock. They're the first of the 6 playoff games, and then the Browns and Steelers are the last of the 6. So
who's got an early Super Bowl pick?
I'm saying Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going back.
Yeah, I know David. We already talked about this morning, so I think I know where David's going, and I kind of tend to agree with him.
Flip-flopping. I don't want to jinx anybody, but I think the Packers in the NFC, because Aaron Rodgers is as he gets older, he gets better, and All right, I'll go with the Bills. The
Ah.
Bills, they're too good. They're so good right now. I think they could beat the Chiefs in like the championship game.
Ah.
I thought about switching back to the Chiefs, but
I'm right there with David on the Bills and the Packers, at least at this point, as far as my Super Bowl matchup prediction goes. So
yeah, it's gonna be fun. I mean, there's so many teams that really don't have a big playoff history. They're coming in, so I think it's all. And we got a 7-9 team in the playoffs, the Washington football team. So it's gonna be a weird one.
Yeah, much to the chagrin of Giants fans everywhere who were saying that the Eagles didn't try last night. And that's why they're not in the playoffs.
Come on, man.
What are you? What are they? They finished up 6-10.
When you're 6-10, you
you're
can't
complaining
say
about
that about another team. And the Dolphins just got smashed yesterday, so I'm like, I don't have to.
6, they're not in.
I don't have to be disappointed next week when they lose to whoever they would play.
That's a way to look at things.
The last week of disappointment. Yeah. All right, everybody. But let us know your New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
You can drop them in the comments below if you'd like to make a Super Bowl prediction. Share it with us as well this morning.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.